The worst part about running paid ads for a e-commerce brand is that 98% of your total traffic will never convert. But in this video I'm gonna show you how to convert anywhere between 10 to 15% of your total website visitors so that you can generate 5, 6, maybe even 7 figures per year in extra revenue. So here's the exact document. It's going to show you how to do it step by step. I'm gonna break down everything you need to know. And just to show you some of the results, this is what's actually possible. As you can see, we're getting over 15% of traffic being converted into leads, 13%, 14%, and so on and so on. Again, this is the process that you can replicate for your e-commerce brand. This is something you can copy paste, so just stay tuned because I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And here are some of the proofs as to why you need the sign up form. So this brand didn't have it before. They were not converting or capturing any leads on their website, but after implementing our system, we managed to help them make an extra 552k in extra revenue. And I'm not saying this to show off, I'm just saying to show you what's possible if you actually do it the right way. Same goes for this brand that previously had some kind of email marketing and pop-up in general, but it wasn't fully optimized. After we stepped in, we took them from averaging, if you took an average out of these 5 months, probably you would get something around 35, maybe 40k. But after we stepped in, we made them an extra 60k in general, which is like over 20k on top of what they're currently doing. And if you multiply that by like 12 months, it's gonna give you almost 250k in revenue. Obviously, we had some slower amounts, but as you can see, this number is trending up in general, which means that overall, in May, we have already beaten November, which is quite insane because this is not a seasonal product, which means that November should be the spike for them. So I hope that by now you understand how important it is to have this tool that's going to help you convert those people into your email leads, right? And there are 3 other reasons why you need to have the pop-up or the sign-up form. First one is that your email list is the only resource that only you own, because with Facebook ads you can get your Facebook ad account banned. If you have the wrong setup from technical perspective, you can lose your pixel access, fan page access, and so on and so on. You don't have full control over these assets, whereas with the email list, that's something that belongs only to you and you can do whatever you would like to it. Other part is that it's easier to convert more people from cold traffic through pre-purchase flows funnel, which essentially is a set of flows that you are running people through at this certain stage of the customer journey they are in. Again, this just helps you to convert more people from cold traffic. Then the third one, sending one-off campaigns that target specific objections. So obviously when someone's on your product page, it's not possible for you to cover all of the objections that they have. That's why you can just send one-off campaigns where each one focuses on different objections, and it's easier for you to convert these people because you can focus on one specific topic. Now going back into the actual content of the video, there are 4 key elements of the pop-up that you absolutely must nail down if you want it to convert at 10 to 15%. First one is the offer, second one is trigger, third one is design, and the fourth one is copy. Now, one thing I want to mention about all of these steps is that a lot of people overcomplicate it. So they're trying this, super fancy designs and copy that isn't understandable and readable at all. And it makes everything just way worse instead of making it better. The best advice I can give you for having high converting pop-ups is making them as simple as possible. You don't want to be them super ugly, of course, but you need to show the message, show the offer, and make it as easy for people as possible to say yes to your offer. And that's why offer is number 1, because in my opinion, this is one single most important thing when it comes to running high converting pop-ups. The better the offer, the more people are gonna convert. Now, I don't want to give you the exact advice on which kind of offer you should run. It always differs. You cannot always run some kind of offers. If, for example, you're only selling products above $200 per product per SKU, then it's gonna be pretty hard for you to do a free gift with purchase. Whereas if you're selling low ticket items for like $15, maybe $20, you can do free gift with purchase, which cost of goods is lower than, for example, if you were to give 10% discount on the price, right? Makes sense. But in general, with our other clients that are in the e-commerce space, the best offer that we are seeing that converts the most is having free gift with purchase. One small tip, which is an extra sauce for you. If you were to run the regular 10% off discount, I recommend you do 11%. just because it's only 1% higher, but it's something that allows you to break the pattern. Every single brand is doing 10% off, so by doing 11% off, you're differentiating yourself and you're being a little bit different. Plus, like 11 is still higher than 10, so the perceived value is higher than actually making it just 10. For trigger, we like to separate pop-ups by device. On desktop, we do exit intent only. On mobile, we do percentage scroll or seconds delay. So it's either 60% scroll or 10 seconds active on page. For design and copy, again, keep it super simple, keep it stupid simple. You don't want to overcomplicate it by any means. And now I'm gonna jump into Klaviyo and show you how to exactly do these pop-ups and create them, so you can again copy paste it for your brand. I won't be creating this pop-up from scratch because it would take me 40 minutes. Trust me, I've tried to record this video and it would take me over 40 minutes just to drag and drop stuff. So I'm gonna show you what I came up with, but again, you can copy paste it. As you can see, it looks super simple, but trust me, with A/B tested these kind of designs where they are super clean, super simple, but they highlight the offer versus some beautiful pop-ups with images with the left side image for desktop. For mobile, we don't do side images ever, just because it makes the pop-up super small. The part that is most important, but we're having some images at the very bottom of the pop-up or at the very top that were kind of flowing with the design, making it look better, but they didn't convert well. These kind of pop-ups perform great just because people can see the offer and it's very easy for them to say yes to, which is the most important part of the pop-up. So usually what we like to do is split test this first step. First one is something we call micro yes or micro commitment, where we just ask a question like, hey, would you like to get? And then you insert your offer, or how about, and then you insert the offer. And then we have only two buttons, yes, either yes or no. As simple as that. I'm just also gonna click so you can see the settings. This one is submit form, show next step. This one's closing the form. You can upload your logo, but you don't have to because people are still on your website, so they can see logo at the very top of the website. So it's very, very simple. For email opt-in, if they obviously click yes, we take them to the second step, which is perfect. Just enter your email below and we'll send the code right away. Here's the email input field, claim 10% off. As simple as that. Then for SMS opt-in, you can either bump the offer, bump it up. So if you're offering 10%, you can do 15%. So the incentive is higher for SMS since you're asking for more pieces of data. But you can also have like, hey, if you would like to unlock double deals, just leave your phone number and that's it. And then at this stage, we're giving people two options, either unlock exclusive deals. And one important thing is that for email, we're adding people to our main list, which is newsletter. For SMS opt-in, we're adding them to SMS list just to separate these. And then if they click no thanks, I'm good on text, make sure that you still submit them to the email list since they're not giving their phone number. That's why this also shouldn't be required. But then again, if they say no thanks, make sure you show them the next step. And the next step can be something like this, where again, like obviously if you're bumping up the discount, it would be 15% off here and then the code there. Or if you like wouldn't be able to do a split based on the option they selected, either SMS or email, so you don't want if you should be showing 10% or 15% off, you can just say like, hey, your discount code is waiting in your inbox, make sure you check it out. With the thank you page, there are really two ways to go about it. I would suggest A/B testing them and seeing if they affect your conversion rate, your profit margins, and so on and so on. But usually we honestly don't show the discount code on the thank you page because having this first email in the welcome flow, obviously that attributes the revenue to the welcome flow instead of just having the pop-up generate the revenue. But the important thing is that it boosts your deliverability since people are opening for this email and actively looking for it. So if it's gonna be in spam, in promotions, or in primary tab, people are gonna take this one extra step to actually find the email and click on it since the incentive is inside this email. But again, obviously you don't want to blending in spam, but if it's primary tab or promotions, they're gonna find it and click it. Right, and then claim 10% off. It closes the form. You can also go to URL, but usually close form is fine enough since they are gonna still be at the same page where the pop-up appeared. Then one more thing about the pop-ups is that you want to have teaser, which is something that shows up after the form is closed. We don't want to show it before. And one important thing is that this is the mistake that a lot of e-commerce brands do. where they have rectangle as the teaser, and then they have it at the very bottom of the website. As you can see, it's gonna be a huge problem, especially if you have sticky add to cart, because if you have sticky add to cart, then this rectangle teaser is gonna be hovering the sticky add to cart button, which will make it impossible for people to click it, which ultimately will lead to making your conversion rate way lower, because people are gonna be annoyed, like, what is it? I can't just close it, I can't, you know, use the add to cart button. So we want to have it either circle or corner, right? One of these, and then make sure to play with padding from the bottom top and left right as well, just so it's very easy for people to navigate through the website and click any buttons that you might have there. So this is again the pop-up that you can design very quickly. It would take you maximum 30 minutes with uploading all the assets and linking them and so on. But again, this is the structure that I use and that works extremely well. So we want to have the logo, then the offer itself. Make sure you highlight it so you can make it bold, make it make it colored in the brand's color. Then button number 1 is showing next step, the other one is just closing it. You would like to A/B test this part. So the first part, or the first option, version A, would be micro yes, version B would be, hey, would you like to get 10% off your first order? And then you would already have email input field here, right? So this would be version B, and then you wouldn't have this step at all. You would just have this step, which is SMS opt-in. But again, A/B tested, we always run this test because for some brands this micro commitment boosts conversion rate hugely, but for others it doesn't do much and sometimes it's performing worse. So again, every single brand is different, that's why you need to A/B test this. For email, it's pretty simple. I mean, again, you can just go through the video, pause it wherever you need it, but the pop-up is super simple. Here are also the settings for the pop-up, right? So the height is 450, which is enough. You can make it smaller or bigger, whatever you need. Then for width, I usually do medium. I don't want to be, you know, like super small like that, it looks bad. Large is also not looking the greatest. Medium, for me at least, is a sweet spot. Then you can also have some background images, which I'm gonna show examples of pretty soon. For padding, you can play with that as well, but default settings are also like fine. And this is how the other part looks like. I just also want to show you guys the targeting. So we always want to make sure it's based on rules, show after 10 seconds or 60% page scroll, depending on, you know, whatever is first. If you feel like these settings are too aggressive, which you can either just go through the website yourself in the incognito tab and see if it's disrupting your customer journey, or you can do it based off of heat maps if you have these, and then adjust the settings as needed. Right, then for the frequency, usually I do it anywhere between 7 and 15. 7 is obviously more aggressive, 15 is less aggressive. I like to go with 7, we didn't get any complaints after running it like that. For devices, we want to be it on mobile only, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. For settings, you want to make sure this is gonna be turned off. By default, this part is turned on, which is a problem because if someone is just using their thumb to scroll through the mobile phone, right, and they click outside of the pop-up by mistake, they're not gonna see it. I mean, they will see it since we have teaser, that's why it's also important to have it. But overall, if you wouldn't have teaser, they would close the pop-up and they wouldn't be able to submit it, even if they would like to. So make sure you have this selected off, but in this case also make sure that people can easily click the X icon and close the pop-up wherever needed. Then for targeting, again, you don't want to show it to existing Klaviyo profiles, but for example, if you're running any kind of sale like Black Friday or anything like that, or a specific offer that is targeting buyers, you can do it in Klaviyo and target people by segment or short to Klaviyo profiles, and so on and so on. You can exclude certain URLs, for example, cart page or a checkout. I mean, obviously people aren't seeing the checkout page, but on cart page and on product pages of specific ones, you can also run different discounts for different products and show or hide the pop-up based on the rules. And that's usually what you can play with the most. This is pretty much it. Now I'm gonna show you the desktop pop-up, which is essentially the same. The only thing that you can change is the image, right? On desktop, you can actually show image on the left-hand side. You can A/B test this, and this is just an example image. Obviously you want it to look better. I just quickly did it in like 2 minutes in Canva. But the purpose of the image is to show the customer, show it with the product, and show the review that they, gave about your brand, right? This is ideally what you want to do, because this is huge social proof and it just might make the pop-up convert better. But all the other parts are essentially the same, right? Obviously you would need to add the same image there, You can obviously display different images at different stages, but I wouldn't recommend it too much. So that's it for the desktop devices. And for targeting and behavior, this one's quite important. So right here we have when visitor is exiting the page. So whenever someone drags the cursor outside of the tab, they're gonna get this pop-up, and this is when it's gonna appear. It means that you won't be sacrificing your margins for people who are browsing through desktop. You are only going to show it when they're actually about to click off. And that's pretty much it. You can also select this off to make sure that they can't click outside to close it, they need to click on X. And yeah, this is how we create high converting pop-ups. Just one more example that you can actually make it, a little bit more branded if you'd like to. You can add some images, but again, offer is the most important thing. One simple rule of thumb that I have for these pop-ups is that the second you look at the pop-up, you need to think about what is the first thought that came to your mind, or like what is the first thing that stood out to you the most. If it's gonna be the offer, then your pop-up is designed fine. If it's gonna be, for example, the image or the button, then you need to change. In this case, the font is bold, the font is big, and the offer is highlighted in the brand's colors. So it's very easy to spot it, and again, very easy to read it. You don't want to have too much copy on the pop-up because again, it needs to be super simple. You need to just take a look at that. If someone is taking a look at the pop-up, they need to be able to assess what the offer is about and if they want to receive it. That's pretty much it. All these steps again, you can design them in Figma or Canva. You can make the images act as buttons, which is also like additional tip for you. But yeah, you can play with these, just don't overcomplicate it. The offer is gonna be the single most important thing when it comes to pop-ups. So this is exactly how we create these high converting pop-ups. But one thing you need to remember, that even if you have high converting pop-up, it doesn't mean that you'll be able to generate these kind of results for your e-commerce brand, because you also need to have good flows in place, proper deliverability, and send frequent campaigns. So if you run an e-commerce brand, if you would like any help with that, you can schedule the call using the link down below in the description. But if you don't feel like you are there yet, you can watch this video where I show you how I exactly took an e-commerce brand from no email marketing to making an extra 371k per month in just 2 months. Thank you for watching and see you on the next page.